Welcome to Midlife Matters. I'm Marie, and each week I'm joined by my friends Julie and Mindy to talk about all the topics keeping women in the middle years up at night. It's almost Christmas, and we've got a fun show planned for you today, complete with Christmas trivia and our naughty and nice list for 2020. Let's get started. Good morning, listeners. If you're listening to this on the morning it comes out, there are only 2 days until Christmas. So let me say Merry Christmas to all of you, and Merry Christmas to my co-hosts, Julie and Mindy.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, and ladies, we're recording this a little early, but based on your past history, do you think that right now, 2 days before Christmas, you're relaxing by the fire with all the prep for the big day done? Or are you still searching for what gifts can arrive with one-day shipping on Amazon?
Currently scrambling on Amazon Prime, I'm sure.
Julie, I picture you by the fire.
I'm by the fire.
I mean, there might be a fire on while I'm searching.
There's a fire
Amazon
under
Prime.
your butt while you're shopping, Mindy.
How about you, Marie?
I never run out of gifts to buy, so I'm still searching on Amazon.
Okay.
But listeners, no matter if you're on top of everything or still finishing those last-minute details, we've got a fun show today to keep you company. So let's start it off with some Christmas trivia. And being the person that came up with the questions, I don't have to answer it. So I get to pit Julie and Mindy against each other to see who is better. And I have...
Oh, no.
And listeners, you guys can play along. Let's see which of you can answer more of them. We're going to test your Christmas knowledge. All right.
Julie wins. I can already tell.
Mindy gives up before the competition even starts.
So you're saying my mind is more full of trivia?
I think so. And I don't know how fast my Google will work on my phone as I'm trying to answer these questions.
Maybe you can do phone a friend.
Hey, hands up, no cheating.
Yeah, let me call Bryce.
Okay, well, I think you're both going to know this one. It's just a matter of who knows these faster. All right. Which company was the first to use Santa Claus in an advertisement?
Coca-Cola.
Oh, Coca-Cola.
Good job, Mindy. Yes. All right. What country did gingerbread houses come from?
Germany.
Excellent. I'm going to give you guys a tie there. What kind of Christmas does Elvis Presley sing about?
Blue.
Yes.
Oh,
Which Christmas movie has been played more than any other?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, Mindy. Good job.
Mindy, you're
Wow.
smoking.
Dude.
Which country started the tradition of putting up a Christmas tree?
England.
Close. Germany.
Germany. Right there with the gingerbread
Oh,
houses.
Tannenbaum. Is Tannenbaum
Yeah.
a German word?
I think it was
I think so.
maybe Martin Luther was the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. I feel like Mindy's going to get this, but Julie, you watch a lot of movies too. In Home Alone, where are the McAllisters going on holiday when they leave Kevin behind?
Paris, France.
Good job.
That's the first movie.
Okay. All right. Here's one that you might get, Julie. Which country did eggnog originate?
Oh my gosh.
Switzerland.
Not close. I thought Julie might get it.
Well, let's
because
just go
she's-
with Germany again.
No, because she's all things England, Britain.
Oh, and I love eggnog.
And have you had eggnog over there?
I have.
Okay.
Oh,
then-
over there. No. I thought you
Okay.
meant over here at my house. Yes. I just had some last.
I think you had some before this recording started. All right. In which Christmas movie does Tom Hanks play 6 of the characters?
Polar Express.
Awesome, you guys. All right, here is going to be one that is hard but interesting. In which country is it traditional to eat KFC for Christmas dinner?
Oh, that's just wrong.
Yeah, that
Okay,
shouldn't be.
I'm going to
but-
give you all the answer. It's Japan.
Oh.
Yes. So apparently when we are eating our turkey or ham, they are loving some KFC. I don't even love KFC on a normal day here in America.
I love to have Asian food in the around the holidays.
Okay, well, we're making the old switcheroo here. Here's one you're going to definitely get. What is the best-selling Christmas single of all time?
White Christmas.
It is White Christmas. I was surprised by that. All right, here's one that you will get. In Home Alone 2, who does Kevin run into in the hotel lobby?
Donald Trump.
Yes, good job. All right. What decoration do elves traditionally have on their shoes?
Bells.
Awesome, you guys. All right, let's see if you can tie for this last one, too. Miracle on 34th Street centers on what real-life department store?
Macy's.
Please.
Woo! And the crowd
Yay!
cheers. All right.
I love that movie.
Me too.
We're not going to declare a Christmas queen because I think Mindy started out strong and then Julie came in from the back, so I'm going to give you each 50%.
Thank you.
I'm going to brush up on my English trivia next year.
Yes, I know. So congratulations to both of you, and congratulations to any listeners who managed to answer all those questions correctly. All right, you guys, we're moving on to another part of the show today. As you know, and our listeners know, this is Santa's big week. So he's busy making his list for who's been naughty and nice. And we at Midlife Matters thought it would be fun to make out a naughty and nice list for this memorable year of 2020. What would we put on the nice list, and what would we relegate to the naughty side? And Julie, let's start it off with you. Give us a naughty item.
Limited ability to travel.
Oh, that's at the top
as
of
you
your
know,
list.
This was supposed to be my big year. I had so many plans to travel, including leading a trip to London with friends. My daughter was going to get to go. So that has been so disappointing.
I bet I can see
Yes,
why that is on the
totally
naughty
agree.
list, Julie.
Very naughty.
And
Very
I
naughty.
know you're not alone in that.
Yes.
There are listeners nodding their heads
No.
right as we speak.
Yeah.
We actually had a family cruise planned, and I have some other
Oh.
friends that had a cruise planned, and my friends have tried to rebook it multiple times, and it keeps getting pushed back. And so, yes, I'm right there with you with travel plans getting canceled.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even a big traveler, but I've been disappointed that you can't make any plans maybe for next year. I really don't even dare make any plans for next year.
No.
So,
Right.
yeah, that definitely is on the naughty list. Mindy, what's something on your naughty list?
Okay. Wearing a mask at the gym.
Oh, is your gym doing that?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Working out has just really taken a hit this year for my whole family. We've had, like everyone else, you've had to adjust, and the gyms were closed for a long time. And I even still have old clients that have contacted me, even as of this morning, saying, I'm still trying to find a good routine to work out. And it's been hard to go to the gym because I've taken a high cardio class. And if you're wearing a mask the whole time, I feel like I'm about to die. So I actually stopped going. And it's been hard to find a way, a good way to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Luckily, our gym does not make you wear masks because everything's pretty separated. And even in the classes, I think they just have people separated. But that would be difficult if you're trying to do strenuous activity. So I can see why that'd be on the naughty list. Something on my naughty list is the phrase, the new normal. I hate that phrase. I've hated it since the first second I heard it. I feel like it's just a self-fulfilling negative prophecy. And I hate the phrase, the new normal, and it's on my naughty list.
That is very naughty. Please stop saying that. This needs to not be normal. It is not normal.
All right, Julie, what else is on your naughty list?
Not being able to go to the movies. There were no summer blockbusters, no good Christmas movies. And I don't know, there's something about those 2 times of year. That's when I want to go see a movie, and just anticipating, a movie coming out. We've even gone to a movie on Christmas night before. So it's just sad that that's not even an option now. So I've really missed that.
Yeah.
I totally agree. There were some great movies that were supposed to come out this year that were on our family calendar that every time it got pushed back, we moved the date. But the second Top Gun movie was supposed to come out this summer. A new James Bond movie was supposed to come out. And so we've all been bummed. I'm sad about that too, Julie.
And it's going to be really, really naughty if they just don't come back and they start releasing movies to home streaming. That's not going to be good.
I'm not up for that.
No.
Yes, I really missed going to the movie the day after Thanksgiving, and I like to go over Christmas break. Pretty much those are the only 2 times we go. But I did miss that this year, and I will miss it. And I do hope that it does come back. All right, something else on your naughty list, Mindy. What do you have?
Okay. Something else on my naughty list is I feel like I've lost all joy for shopping.
Mm.
Um, I used to enjoy being able to just every once in a while. I'm not a big shopper, I'm not out there all the time, but just being able to browse and have a cup of coffee in my hand and sip my coffee while I shop with my daughter and just, try shoes on and try things on. It's like everything is get in and get out as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just kind of lost all joy for that pleasure, just every once in a while being able to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It definitely is not a fun experience.
And especially with a lot of dressing rooms closed, I'm not going to buy something in a store if I can't try it on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. On my naughty list are places that have fewer hours, and they call it based on COVID. So Sam's Club, you used to be able to go in early if you had like a certain level of membership and shop before the crowds. And now you can't. And they said it's due to COVID. Well, actually, I thought the whole point was that you spread people out. You don't have so many people in there at one time. So why'd you take away some of your hours? And a lot of places have done that. The Y has done that. They now condense everybody coming in a shorter period of time. Our local library, I am so disappointed, you guys. The local library took away all evening hours. Every single day of the week, it closes at 6 now. And I just feel like that's a real loss. What are we, like 9 months into this? And have we lost forever the ability as a community to ever go to the library after work? What if you don't even get home till 6:30? And it started out as something that was in quotes due to COVID. But what's the difference if you're going in at 3 or at 6:30 and you're following the same protocol? I don't get that.
Yeah, and it's cutting people's work hours. That doesn't make sense. I wonder what the deal with that is.
Yeah, so that's
it's
on my
true.
naughty
And
list.
then I'll say the times are not always listed. Like I always check times for stores on my Google Maps app on my phone, and they're not accurate. I've gone to places so many times and the times are different, when you get to the actual place. And so it's not even accurate online. So I have no idea when I can go someplace.
Right. Julie, naughty list.
Oh, another big one is panic buying. The days of no toilet paper, no Lysol or Clorox wipes, no Lysol spray. Lysol spray is just about as elusive as the vaccine for this virus. And I have looked for Lysol spray since this whole thing started. So I was in the grocery store on my birthday last week and I saw Lysol spray. I bought 6 cans and I felt no guilt because I have not been able to buy one for the last 8 months. So this was just back buying for all the months that I didn't get to buy.
That's right. Happy birthday to you.
So I took a picture and sent it to my mom and said, happy birthday to me. This is what I bought myself.
Oh.
And while I was in line checking out, this lady goes, ma'am, where did you find that Lysol?
And did you say I took the last one?
I said, I left you some. They're up on the top shelf. They're way in the back. You'll have to get some help getting them. But I did leave you some.
I'm over that too, Julie. And it's happening again. Like this next wave of the virus is hit. And I was in Costco the other day and I'm like, is there seriously another line for toilet paper?
I know.
And they're already out of paper towels. And I'm like, what is going on?
And they're back to limiting the number of items you can purchase.
Right.
I know. You guys, I only like to buy a certain brand of toilet paper and I've not been able to find it. So I'm having to go off my usual brand and I don't like that. But I need to have a stockpile.
Yeah, you do, Marie. You still need toilet paper.
Yeah.
So yes, panic buying is definitely, I think, on a lot of people's naughty list. Mindy, what do you have?
All right. Well, the next thing is Bryce and I have commented that even once restaurants opened, that we feel like the service at places has just gone way downhill. In an effort to be COVID pandemic friendly, I actually feel like bathrooms and restaurants are dirtier than they were before the pandemic. And I don't know what that's about, but I feel like service has gone out the window to replace these new pandemic measures. And they're always changing. So you never really know what you're going to go into. Nothing really makes logical sense. And I feel like restaurants are just they're on the struggle bus.
Yeah. Okay, my next naughty list is social media fact checking and censorship. You guys, I don't want to go on Facebook and have them tell me the election hasn't been decided yet. Okay, I already know that. I'm not coming on Facebook to find that out. I'm coming on to look at pictures of people or read about things. I don't need you, Facebook, to tell me that what my friend shared has been fact checked. If I believe it, or if I don't believe it, I will do my own research. I don't want it filtered through you. So please stop treating me like a kindergartner and give me credit for the brain God gave me.
Thank you.
Right.
It's just terrible. I just can't stand that big brother attitude. And I know that Facebook can do whatever they want, but I can also say that I don't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hate that little I'm being educated every time I open up Instagram. The election says the election has been decided. There has been no fraud.
Right. Or, you used to be able to type in words and find posts about those things and read comments. And I enjoy that.
Right.
I feel like Facebook is a community and I want to read what other people are thinking. Now, if you type in something like COVID vaccine, the only thing that comes up is all the pre-approved things like from the World Health Organization, CDC, that they want you to see. Only pre-approved positive items. Let me read all the views and I will make my own decision. But you, picking and choosing for me does not make me trust you more.
Yeah, they're so much smarter than us.
I totally agree with you on that, Marie. Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So social media fact checking and censorship is on my naughty list. All right, Julie, do you have anything left on your naughty list?
I do have one thing, and it's not COVID related.
Okay.
Oh.
My daughter, my grandson, my mom, and myself went to Florida back in September. And we were having a great time, all of us together at the beach. And my mom fell down some steps and broke her hip and required surgery for a hip replacement and rehab all in the state of Florida.
This is really on the naughty list.
This is really on the naughty list. Yes. And that trip was on the nice list up until the fall. And then after the fall, it got moved to the naughty list. And I know, and I'm saying this on my mom's behalf. It's not like that ruined our trip. We had a great time before that. And it's just changed her life though, totally in every way. That was September 28th and she is still not back at home. Like she will not move back into her home mid-December. I mean, it has just been a whirlwind of changes and rehab and pain and doctor's appointments. And yeah, that was the ultimate naughty of 2020 for us. But things are getting better.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I hope that trip gets moved back over the nice list in your mind once this time period goes past. You know how sometimes the bad memories fade, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, the good memories are there. It's just I still have little flashes in my mind of my mom falling, and she said she does too. It was pretty traumatic.
Oh,
it is traumatic.
Mindy, do you have anything else left on your naughty list?
All right. Well, my last thing is I'll call it the inconsistency of virtual schooling. Each of my kids has struggled with this. Abby's in nursing school right now in college, and she's really struggled with being at home alone, like the isolation of not being able to go into class and see the teacher lecturing and things like that. And my boys, through having COVID and also contact tracing, like they were in school, then they're home, and then they're going to go back to school. And I'm like, what in the world? How are your grades? Are you learning? Like there's concepts that they have missed. And I just feel like there's all these holes and gaps and who knows where they are. Like, I don't even know when that's going to show up, you know? So the inconsistency with that.
Yeah, I echo that. Like, I put remote learning on my naughty list. It's on my nice list because I'm glad that my kids are able to learn in some form or fashion. But I do feel like it's naughty because I feel like it's doing a disservice to our kids. And I really do think we're going to look back at us as a society and say, what in the world did we do to education for a good year? I mean, our school system is saying that we might be like this next year too. It might be 2 years like this. Like those are huge gaps. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's on my naughty list too, Mindy. All right. The last thing on my naughty list is cancel culture. I don't know that I really heard that term before 2020. I'm sure I did, but I feel like 2020 is just, man, you have a view different from someone you know. You don't even have to be a public person. Like, people cannot stand to even talk about different opinions. You don't dare voice a different opinion. You don't dare act like you have a different opinion. I just feel like it's so dangerous to get to the point where you're afraid to even talk. And I'm not even talking about radical things here. I'm just talking about normal things we're afraid to even say because cancel culture is so strong in 2020.
That's a dangerous place to be. I mean, not a lot of freedom in that if you can't have open discussions and disagree with people. And
yeah. And like I said, I love to hear all the sides. Like, I don't feel like I'm ever telling someone else that they need to stop with their thoughts. I enjoy reading them. Now, I may not like it in certain forms, like maybe I don't want to hear him say it, or I don't mind if I read it, but I like, getting all the different options. I think when we said in our decision-making episode, I need to gather all the information. And it's really hard to gather all the information when you're not allowed to hear some of it, or if other people feel like they can't tell you some of it because they'll be canceled.
Right.
It makes decision-making hard.
Right.
It does. There's so many things that separate us. And I do feel like I have read things where it's like, oh, if you feel this way, like, I'm sorry, we just can't even be friends. Or just go ahead and delete me off your friend list because
that's
I
sad
can't,
to see
I can't
that on
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
like,
very
seriously?
harsh.
It is.
So cancel culture in 2020 is on my naughty list.
Absolutely.
All right. But now we need to move on to our nice list because all those things are getting a lump of coal. What is on your nice list? Julie, kick us off with your nice list.
On the naughty list was limited travel, but we did get to fly once or twice this summer. So I will put open middle seats on flights on the nice list.
I think everybody likes that.
That is very, very nice. And I will miss that when they start to fill that seat again. But I know the airlines are probably very anxious to fill that seat. So
Right.
But it was nice while we could get it.
Yes. Mindy, what do you have on your nice list?
I'll say I'm going to echo what Julie said, but in a different way. Before the pandemic hit, on my nice list was that I actually got to go on a cruise with friends in January. My family got to go skiing in Vermont in February. And then after that, I was like, "Ooh, I'm glad we went someplace because we're not going to go anywhere for a long time." But travel, like in your car traveling, was on my nice list because we've been able to see some family members that we haven't seen in a long time because everything else is canceled. Like, we're all like, "Well, hey, can I come to your house? Or can I come to your house? You guys good? We're good. So let's get together."
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely think that more car travel has been a big thing. If you read anything in the media, it seems like that was the preferred way of people to take vacations this summer. And that may be a trend that continues for a while. All right. On my nice list is Apple customer service. So I have been having some computer problems. And I don't know if you guys know that like all the Apple stores have been shut down. And you can only make a Genius Bar appointment and drop your item off. You can't like stand there and tell them about your problem and they can't like work with you to help it like you were allowed to before the pandemic. And one of the reasons I love Apple products is because you can get that personalized attention in the store at the Genius Bar. But right now, and I don't know if this is always like this, I just called the Apple customer service and they literally stayed on with me 3 hours, I think one Sunday. And then the next Saturday, they were on with me for at least 2 hours, and they'll screen share your screen, and you see their little arrow. They're trying to help. And I felt like, well, you know what? Their store isn't open, but man, their telephone customer service is really great. And so they are on my nice list.
Wow,
yeah, and that's better than having to go and make an appointment in the store. I feel like you have more time you have all day at home just to sit there and talk with them.
Right.
Exactly, Julie.
Instead of standing at the store. That's nice.
Yeah. And actually, I'll give a shout out to another customer service because not all places have stepped up their customer service in 2020. Some have used this as an excuse to cut back even more. But I saw on Facebook someone said, we were talking about remote learning, Mindy, and they're like, I cannot get my printer to work with the Chromebooks issued by my school, which is a real problem.
Right.
And I saw all these people echoing like, yes, I can't get that, or no, I can't get that. And I had just spent 2 hours a few days before on the customer service phone with my HP printer customer service because we couldn't get them to print with the Chromebooks either. And I would have never figured this out in 8 million years, but the guy was so nice. He let all my kids line up with their Chromebooks. They all opened them at the same time. He walked them through all the steps. Our printer works, you guys. Our printer works. Yay. I was having to think about buying a new one. So customer service in some of these companies has really actually gone up, I think.
Well, good.
Good to hear.
Wow.
Julie, what else is on your nice list?
Well, I'll just echo something that Mindy said was road trips are on my nice list because we had 2 really great trips this summer out west to national parks. And I think we visited 5 in all. And our first trip was in May, and it was really spontaneous. When our son finished college this semester, he said, can we just get in the car? We were all having cabin fever. Right. And so we really just planned this trip maybe 4 or 5 days before we left. We got in the car and we drove all the way to Utah. And it was so much fun. And so then later in the summer, we had a trip to Scotland planned that we had to cancel. So we just went back out there to more national parks. So we're not making any plans for next year, but I think if we still aren't traveling internationally, that's probably what we'll try to do more of is just getting in the car and driving. And you really see a lot more from your car than you do an airplane, because you can take little side trips. You can change your plans at will. It's kind of nice and freeing just to be out there on the road and doing what you want to do, seeing what you want to see.
Yeah, that's great. I know that when we went on a trip this summer that we kind of planned spontaneously, we also got really good deals. It seems like the prices of things are a little bit cheaper, like lodging and different things, because they're not as full. They're not getting the amount of people that they've had. So that's kind of on the nice list too. I mean, just that you can travel maybe a little cheaper to certain places right now.
Right.
Yep. Mindy, what else is on your nice list?
Okay. I'm going to put virtual church on my nice list, because I feel like this year has given churches an opportunity to really grow on social media and online. And so if you find yourself living in a place where you can't attend church in person, I love that churches have been flexible and made that option available for people that are at home. And so it's just been amazing how they have flexed and figured out how to get their services online. And so I actually love all of the options to attend church right now because of this pandemic.
And just being able to attend multiple churches. I've watched friends' churches and pastors in New York City, and that's kind of cool.
Yes.
I probably wouldn't be doing that, if everything was normal.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this one is actually from my daughter-in-law, but I totally agree. This is on my nice list. She said, if you're an introvert, you get credit for planning things, but then when they get canceled due to COVID, you still get credit for trying.
I love that. That is such a great observation.
And it's so great for introverted people. I mean, I do think that 2020 has been the year for the introvert. And it's socially acceptable to stay in now and not have plans. If you do make plans and they get canceled, you still get to be cheered on for even trying. It's a win-win.
It's sad to say that sometimes when things get canceled, I'm like, oh, good.
I know. We don't have to go.
Yes. Or you can just hint that, oh, I don't know, I'm just really not feeling that well. Oh, don't come. Don't come.
I sneezed this morning, so.
Julie, what else is on your nice list?
Well, I thought about the ingenuity and the creativity of people. That really made my nice list. Drive drive-by birthday parties. I had forgotten a lot of these things because things have really opened up recently. But thinking back to March, April, May, seeing drive-by birthday parties, drive-in concerts, drive-in graduations. Those things are all unfortunate that they had to happen, but at least people were willing to think, how can we still make this happen? Telemedicine. I mean, that's come in handy a few times for us. Just figuring out ways to work from home. Touchless payment. Like I love at Chick-Fil-A, I can just stick my card in. Nobody has to touch it and I can just pull it out. And, or ordering from apps and then going in and having your food ready to pick up. That's kind of neat. And that's probably always been around, but I feel like it's really picked up during the coronavirus. And it's hard to remember the first lockdowns, how, I don't know, those were kind of dark days, but do you remember seeing people in Italy singing and performing on their balconies for their neighbors?
Yeah.
I thought that was so neat. And then in New York City, they would cheer on the first response workers every night at 7:00. And that was kind of neat to see. Hopefully we'll have that spirit still as we go on.
Yeah. Well, there have been a lot of interesting developments. And like you said, they may have been around before, like the ordering from an app, but now it seems like more of the general population knows how to do it. Yeah,
if I know how to do it, then it's really picked up.
If Julie can do it, anybody can do it.
Right.
My kids are like, Mom, that's been around for a long time. And I said, oh, really? I just started using it.
All right, Mindy, what else is on your nice list?
My son, Nathan, playing the piano. I mentioned at the beginning of the pandemic that he found an app to learn how to play the piano. You guys, he is an incredible player now. I cannot believe how far he has come.
That is
awesome. He sits down, he plays, he's got two hands moving all over the piano. I cannot believe he went from like learning hand position and the names of the keys. Like he started at ground zero, literally.
That's amazing.
And he is a beautiful player. It has sparked this creativity, this joy. Like he plays still hours every single day. Wow. And that would not have happened had he not come home.
You need to contact that app and he needs to be like their poster child or something, because it sounds like he's really done a great job.
Yeah. He's even switched apps. Like he found another one that he could go further with. So he went so far with the first one, he switched to another one. Like he's playing incredible music I have only dreamed.
You need to do a little recording and we can share it.
I've thought of doing that so many times for you. I'm like, you got to hear Nathan play.
Yes, we'll do it. Yes, we want to hear him play. That would be so cool. I think that's wonderful. He must have some innate talent too that was like untouched and unknown.
I think so. It really struck a chord with him, literally. Because he's an incredible player and he plays like with passion. Like you feel the music when he plays. And that is such a gift that we would have never known he had. So you can hear my voice. I'm so joyful at the things that he can sit down and play for us now.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That is great. Yeah. Okay, on my nice list is work from home. And I really think this is one of the things that we as a society will definitely have on the nice list. And probably it will continue for quite a long time.
Right.
My husband has always worked from home when he's here. But, like this year, all of his conferences got canceled after March. And normally he would be going to quite a few conferences that were in person. He's hardly traveled. I mean, he does travel, but not to the extent that he was traveling before. There were 11 weeks where he didn't even travel at all, which in 10 years had never happened. And now when he travels, he's driving a lot more because the places are different. Like he used to travel a lot to the Northeast. Well, they're all shut down or you have to quarantine 14 days to even see anybody, which is just not going to happen. So, or the West Coast. Well, it's not very easy to go to the West Coast now. It's just that a lot of the places are different that he's traveling to. So I don't know. And I would say that that's probably true in a lot of different jobs, that working from home has really changed the way they do things. I know my son, he has his first real adult job and he's working at home. All the new college grads that ended in May, they're they're starting out their careers working from home. So really, it's really, I think, revolutionized the workforce and the way that things get done. I know even when I make calls, I've had to call around like to different customer services, or my son's applying to college, so I'll have to call and ask some questions. And a lot of times people would say, "Oh, I'm at home answering your phone call, so if you hear X, Y, or Z, it's because of," and I'm like, "Oh, well, that's neat. Like they're at home doing their job."
Right.
Yeah.
That's so true. We've talked to a lot of people that are at home also that are working. And another happy byproduct is there's less traffic.
Yes.
Oh, that was my next on the nice list was COVID traffic or lack thereof.
Yes.
Because now I can go to Trader Joe's because it's in a very congested part of town, and I can go there with, I just don't even hesitate now. What time of day? It just doesn't matter because the traffic is just not an issue. It's just so nice not to have to add on, oh, it's going to take me this long because it's 3:00 or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah. Mindy, what else do you have on your nice list?
Chick-fil-A is on my nice list. They have revolutionized the whole mobile ordering. Their drive-through experience is incredible. Our Chick-fil-A here in Farragut, which is where my son Jacob started working, their Christmas lights and everything, they've made it a whole experience to go to their Chick-fil-A. There are multiple tents with all these lights. They've had a professional decorator put lights. You feel like you're driving through one of those Christmas light parks to go through the Chick-fil-A drive-through here in Farragut. And their mobile ordering is incredible. I mean, and now they're delivering and everything's on the app, and none of them have opened their restaurants indoors at all through the pandemic, but they are moving orders faster and better than ever before. I just can't believe how they have revolutionized the whole mobile ordering drive-through experience at Chick-fil-A. They're incredible.
Yeah, I think Chick-fil-A could teach the world a lot of things. I mean, in multiple areas. They just know how to do things.
It is their pleasure to do it too.
And they make it work. Yes.
Yeah. Well, one of the things on my nice list is just that people's calendars are less full. And this includes my children. I have 2 young adults and 3 teenagers. Those are both ages where people would normally have so many activities, it would be hard to even get on their calendar to see them. Right. And they can pretty much make plans with us whenever we want. And I love that. I love that I'm getting to see a lot of my kids at times in their lives when normally I wouldn't probably have seen them as much. Same thing with friends. I feel like you don't need to get on someone's calendar 6 weeks in advance. You pretty much know if you said, "What are you doing this weekend?" They're probably saying nothing. Do you want to do anything? I know people that have planned weddings in like a month and they know they're going to get guests because nobody has anything going on. It's just the open calendars are nice. Have you guys experienced that?
Yes, we've had a lot more last minute family members come through, or, the kids have come home and it's like, well, school's online, so I can do that anywhere and I'll just come to your house.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of nice that we do have more open calendars. I have enjoyed that.
Yeah, you're right. You can say, "What are you doing tonight?" And usually people are free.
And it can be more relaxed and it's okay.
Right. Right.
Yes. So I like that. I like that a lot.
Like our book club, we used to have to serve a meal. Well, now since March, we've said, "Oh, well, we'll just serve a snack." And then people were like, "Let's just keep serving a snack. We don't need to go back to serving a meal." So it's like everything, even social events have gotten easier, Mindy. If they're still going on, we do less for them.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's all do one more nice. All right, Julie, what's on your nice list?
Being outside more was really nice for me. We got out and hiked in the early spring, and then I started walking nightly in the late summer to see all those beautiful sunsets. When restaurants opened up, we were certainly willing to go and eat outside. And I love how places that didn't even have outdoor eating have tried to accommodate people by adding that. They've added the heaters now that winter's coming on. And I know we were just very anxious to get outside. And my son even power washed over 1,000 square feet of concrete this summer because he just wanted to be outside. I mean, he worked on that for a long time. And I really appreciate that. So I don't know. I think that concerns me a little. I think that could be the hardest part of this second wave is that we're going into it in the darkest, coldest part of the year. So we're going to have to just figure out how to keep getting outside.
Right. Julie, that was on my list. I literally wrote down so much walking because it was the one thing that you could do. Yeah. And so even this week, our weather here is getting a little bit cold for what I generally want to go outside and walk in. But I keep hearing you guys saying there's no bad weather, just bad clothing.
Sometimes it's hard to make yourself get out there.
It is.
But it looks really cold.
I know. Last night I asked my husband if he wanted to go for a walk to motivate me. Like it was Sunday night. It was already dark outside. I hadn't done anything. I'd been on with the Apple customer service all afternoon. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll be home in a few minutes. Then he's like, oh, you're not going to like this, but it's actually sprinkling a little. I'm like, what? I hate walking in the sprinkling so bad. So I said, well, call the Y and let's see if their track is open. What? They're closing at 5? What did I say about shortening those hours? Now I can't go for a walk.
I know.
So I had to put on my rain jacket and carry an umbrella, but I still got out there, Mindy. I still did it.
I'm impressed. I was not out there. I was binge watching The Mentalist.
Yeah, I just built a fire and lit some candles. Okay. Something that makes a nice list for me is the fact that so many people worldwide mastered the art of sourdough bread making during the pandemic. Don't you remember that? It seemed like every celebrity, everybody was making sourdough bread at the beginning.
Yes.
And, there was even a shortage of flour. You couldn't buy flour.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
yes. Well, Julie, that was going to be my last thing on my nice list was the cooking. Now, not because I love cooking, but because I've had to cook so much for so many people. It has forced me to learn some new recipes and do things a different way. And we just got an Aldi. We actually just got 2 Aldis. One, and they're each about the same distance from my house. But I have been going there and getting new things to try. Like you said before, Julie, it's easier to get to Trader Joe's. So I've been getting newer things there. Like it's just, I have branched out maybe in the things that I buy and the things that I prepare. And so that's kind of a nice change.
Yeah. I third that comment because so much cooking, I feel like I've added new recipes kind of to my repertoire of things that I make all the time. And I'm not quite as afraid to try something new because I'm like, well, let's see.
I'll be cooking again tomorrow, so I can try something new today.
I can redeem myself tomorrow if it goes bad today.
That's right. Well, my last one was I had a child graduate in this pandemic year, and he was still motivated to kind of move out onto his own. And he chose to have a gap year and was actually able to get hired on at a hospital as a nurse tech. So he still plans to go to college in the future, but this pandemic has given him the most incredible experience of really being the hands and feet of Jesus to people at the hospital. And I could have never seen Grant in this type of situation. And I've just been so impressed. And he's young and healthy and strong and capable, and they have needed him tremendously. And so there's been a major lack of getting enough CNAs and nurse techs at hospitals. They have been desperate. And he's met a need, and he's also just learning so much. So that's actually been a huge, huge, nice list thing for our family, is watching him to be able to move out on his own, to be able to, afford his car and his rent and, kind of, he's adulting. So that's very nice.
Yes. Launching a child into adulthood is on the nice list.
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. Well, good job, Grant. All right, you guys. Well, I have enjoyed hearing what's on your naughty list. and on your nice list. And listeners, we would love to hear from you. What are on your naughty and nice list for 2020? I think that it's interesting that even some of the things that might be on one person's naughty list is on another person's nice list. And that's
True.
okay. We can agree to disagree and put a smile on our face and be just as happy for either one. So we would love to hear from you. You can email us at midlifematterspodcast@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Midlife Matters Podcast. But before we go and let you get ready for Christmas, we want to do our I'm a Fan. Mindy, what are you a fan of this week?
All right. Well, I mentioned it earlier, but Bryce and I have been binge watching The Mentalist over the past couple of weeks. And we loved the show Monk because he, just kind of watches details and body language and just really picks up things that you don't always see. And so The Mentalist was very similar to that, and the fact that he also kind of solves crimes the same way. And so it's been nice to have a show, and there's 7 seasons. So I know The Mentalist came out a long time ago, but that's just how we do things.
Sure.
But we have a whole 7 seasons to go. Like, we're only on the 3rd season. So we're kind of thrilled that we have all this future TV watching available.
Well, and I know it must be good, Mindy, because you don't usually stick with longevity of shows. So if you're on season 3, you must be enjoying it.
We're doing good. Yes.
I like to watch shows like that are older. They've stood the test of time. You can get really good recommendations, and then you can watch them as you want to watch them. You don't have to wait.
Exactly.
That's how we watch things. They're very old by the time it comes around to us.
Me too. And it is on Amazon Prime. So that's where we've been able to watch it at.
Okay, great. Julie, what are you a fan of this week?
All right, I'm a fan of a food that I got at Aldi, and it's the Aldi English Muffins. Now, I know that sounds...
How good could they possibly be?
What can you do with an English muffin?
I love English muffins.
We, when we were in Scotland several years ago, we bought some English muffins at a grocery that had made them, in store. And they were the best things we'd ever had. So we've been in pursuit of those English muffins ever since.
Really?
So the Aldi ones come close. And
really? I need to buy these.
The other ones that they brag about, the nooks and crannies, all the holes and stuff in them, those are just so dry and stale to me. These are very soft and fluffy, and you have to toast them, but you toast them, put a little butter and jelly on there, and they're great.
Oh, I'm going to try those.
Thank you. I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah. I am a fan of something for all of you listening that need one more gift on your list. You are going to thank me. If you are looking for a family game that can come overnight shipping from Amazon, I have one for you. It is called Qwixx, Qwixx. It is a fast family dice game. And my family was playing that this past weekend. My daughter said, "Oh, I heard of a great game. I need to run out to Target and get it." And I said, "Oh, it's dark, and I don't know if I really want to send you," because she's just a 16-year-old. And she's like, "Mom, please, we're going to have so much fun if I get it." So she went out. She said she bought the last one at Target, and we had such a fun time this weekend playing it. I don't even really know what else to say about it. It is the winner of the Mensa Select Award, so apparently it's good for your intelligence. I don't know. But it's a quick play.
Is there strategy?
There is. Yeah, it's a quick play and dice game that will have you on the edge of your seat from beginning to end. It is simple to play, but each decision is crucial. And everybody's playing every time. So it's not like you're waiting for this person's turn and then you're waiting for that person's turn. But you can play it. We've had 7 people playing at one time. It says only up to 5 on the box, but we had no problem with 7. So get it. If you need Santa to bring you one more thing, Qwixx is it. I'll put a link to it.
Always love a good game.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll have to try that. Thanks, Marie.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, it is Christmas time. I'm sure we all have a lot of things to do today, so I'm going to let you go. But thank you for sharing your nice and naughty list with us.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas,
this
everyone.
was so fun.
Yes, Merry Christmas, listeners. We hope you have a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
We're so happy you joined us today. You can find the show notes for this episode at midlifematterspodcast.com. Also, please tell a friend about the show and help them hit the free subscribe button on their favorite podcast app. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Midlife Matters Podcast. That's where we post pictures and stories about all the things we talk about in each episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.